And what the United States has realized in the last, I think, since World War II, is you can control you don't need to go to war with other countries. You can control them financially as long as you're willing to impose a University of Chicago style free market, meaning you have to kill everybody, every academic professor who advocates an alternative. You have to treat the world like Chile. And what the free market has realized in Chile is if you can kill every labor leader, every land reformer, every intellectual, then you'll have Margaret Thatcher's dream. There is no alternative. And that's the US policy. There is no alternative. And so financial power backed by the targeted assassination, Operation Gladio in Italy, the fight against the Greek anti-Nazis, who, of course, were mainly the communists, trying to produce a monarchy, the overthrow of the Iranian government, the mass assassinations after Pinochet, and the spread throughout Latin America, that all along the United States has posed a military of the threat of violence, and that's all that it can do today. It can't invade an army with its own draft. It can only drop bombs. It can only impose sanctions. And the crazy theory is if you can make it's the former Secretary Madeleine Albright theory. If you can punish a population, and especially if you can hurt their children and starve them and make them sick, if you can make them so unhappy, they will overthrow their government and say, okay, we don't want this anymore. We'll do whatever you want. And of course, that hasn't worked. It didn't work. The fact is, Madeleine Albright simply wanted to kill little children. She wanted to kill the population. I mean, it's all an excuse. It didn't work at all. But you get the sadistic, perverse people in the deep state here, and that's where they're at. They're working out their own personal anger, and that obviously this is not a situation that can succeed. And to Eurasia, the Americans are the barbarians at the gate. That's and they're being perceived as that throughout the world, as I think you've written often enough.
But Michael, I don't see American special leadership really seeing themselves that way. Obviously, they don't understand how the world sees themselves, unless there are a few who are cynical and know exactly what they're doing. But I think there are a lot of true believers in government too, aren't there?
Well, but they say it's worth it. They say, yes, they marginalize the fight against the population. They say, yes, the population is going to suffer. That actually is going to lead them to make an economic choice to give up their ideals, give up their self-determination, and simply do what we tell them to do because they don't want to be bombed or sanctioned or starved anymore. So there's an idea that you motivate people by hurting them instead of by offering an opportunity to develop. And the problem is that the United States strategists don't know how to develop because they're neoliberals. And neoliberalism is all about grabbing unearned income, grabbing other people's property, grabbing other people's income without working. That's what America is. You pointed out at the beginning of the program that the American economy is shrinking. And if it's shrinking, how are you going to support American living standards and voters? You can only get this by exploiting other countries, by imperialism. And other countries are realizing, do we really want our economic surplus shifted off to the United States so that they can live well at our expense? That's the issue, that how the issue is perceived in the rest of the world outside of US, NATO, and Japan.
Yeah, and when has it ever worked? Cuba has been under sanctions since 1960 or so, and Castro survived it all. So my second question,